Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today's November 27th. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Taking a look here at the visible satellite imagery. If you are getting ready to prepare your stuff for the day today, you can see across some of the Sacramento, San Joaquin Valley, it is very foggy out there. Again, this morning there's the I-5 corridor and the Green Line. You can see I-80 and some of the Bay Area also, especially north portions, are fairly well socked in. Looks pretty nice though across a lot of Southern California, just some mid and high level clouds kind of moving across the region. So let's go ahead and dive into a few things here. You can see Sacramento National Weather Service. Let me update that. You see the dense fog advisory in place. Makes sense, right? And then you can see some of the max temperatures here as we go through the next few days. Sacramento stuck right around 60 degrees. You can see Chico, kind of same thing, maybe a little bit warmer there. Now, taking a look at here at the National Weather Service, Hanford, California, talks about the high transportation risk. Again, it's kind of a big deal there when you get the fog, socking the entire area in like this here. It can cause some widespread travel disruptions and you could cause accidents and stuff. So do slow down, use your low beams. Now, looking at the high resolution model, if we scroll through here this morning, you can kind of see that fog out there. Let's see if it shows it for tomorrow morning. Yes, indeed, it does. Again, another day socked in. Let's see if it shows it for Saturday morning. Yes, indeed. So going through this pattern where that inversion is just trapped. So we get the cold air kind of trapped into the valley areas there. You're not getting a lot of mixing here in each overnight. When the sun sets and you're not getting any kind of warming there, you really get some radiational cooling and you allow that fog to form down into those valley areas. Now looking at wind speeds, a little bit of offshore wind still as we go through this morning should be wrapping up here for the most part on the day today. And you can kind of see those turn westerly and northwesterly a bit here down the coastline as we go on in through this is Saturday. We're now going through Saturday afternoon. And we may get a return to some offshore winds here as we go through the day on Sunday and on into Monday. More on that here tomorrow. But if we take a look at the artificial intelligence 500 millibars, things are changing a little bit here, and I'll show you what I mean. You can see this cutoff low kind of stays too far away to bring precipitation, and then it wants to take away our next storm system. This right here on previous runs had it a little bit further to the west, creating some precipitation for the state of California. But you can see the ridging kind of dominating there and keeping those systems kind of making them inside sliders and not very wet here for the state of California. So it's really kind of reduced some of our precipitation amounts in some of our most recent model runs. It shows maybe something right at the end of the run. You can kind of see the troughing there and more of a westerly flow. But again, we'll watch that over the next few days. Hopefully it's just kind of a one-off and maybe some of that precipitation will return. Because if we look at what that would bring, you see the system moving towards the Pacific Northwest again on the day today, just clipping Northwest California. Now we look off in towards Saturday. Again, that cutoff low stays out over the open water between Hawaii and California. We get kind of this backdoor cold front moving down here across the Intermountain West. Not much precipitation for California. It does bring some to portions of Nevada, Utah, and northern Arizona, eastern Arizona. But then we look for that system that was going to bring maybe some precipitation to California. It shows a little bit being wrung out, but it needs to take a further west track if that's going to be a more impactful system. So maybe that'll change here. We'll watch that over the next few days. And then you can kind of see that storm train pointed at the Pacific Northwest, some Arctic air going down into Western Canada. And then we'll have to see what comes in the future after that. And again, maybe we'll get active as we go through the mid portion of December. Who knows? Total precipitation in inches in the national blended models. We'll scroll through there and you see you have to go way out towards, 160 hours before it starts to show some precipitation for Southern California. Again, we'll watch that over the next few days. No guarantees on that. Daily 2-meter max temperature. So you can see the temperatures out there for today, what to expect. Again, you're going to be suppressed in some areas where the fog is not fully burning off. You can see some nice 70s out there, maybe some lower 80s out towards the Salton Sea, maybe Palm Springs area. And then we go through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. A little bit of a cool down here as we go on in through early December for some areas. You can see Southern California back down into the 60s there. I mean, the high temperature only into the mid 70s out there. Even Death Valley cooling down a bit Thursday, Friday, Saturday as we go on in through December there. And also, if we look at the daily 2-meter minimum temperatures, you can see across some of the backcountry, it is pretty chilly at this time of year. And you can see those, those morning lows when you're in that fog, it feels pretty chilly out there. You're in the low 40s. So, yeah, you need to wear a jacket. So, just a heads up for that. You guys know the drill, though. Now, Patreon page, check it out if you like. Oh, one more thing. Let's check the 8 to 14 day as well. You can see the West Coast, kind of above average signal there as we go on in through the first portion of December. I mean, this is if that inversion does get mixed out there, because if that inversion is there, you'll be below normal across some of those valley areas. But the 8 to 14 day does have above normal here as we go on in towards December 10th. But yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys are having a good Thanksgiving out there, and I will catch you guys in the next forecast.